Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive into the mysteries that shape our world. I'm your host, Ryan Martin, and today we're exploring a number that makes elevator designers skip floors, sends shivers down spines at dinner parties, and has woven itself so deeply into human consciousness that it appears on the very currency in your wallet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Conspiracy Tapes. Picture this. It's a crisp October morning in 1307. Dawn breaks over France as King Philip IV sets in motion one of history's most devastating betrayals. Friday, October 13th, a date that would echo through centuries. With calculated precision, royal guards storm Templar strongholds across the kingdom, arresting the most powerful military order in medieval Europe. The Knights Templar, these warrior monks who had fought in the Crusades and accumulated vast wealth, found themselves dragged from their beds, tortured, and executed. This wasn't just political maneuvering. This was the birth of a superstition that would outlast kingdoms and cross oceans. Friday the 13th became forever marked in the collective human psyche as a day of doom. But here's where it gets fascinating. This wasn't humanity's first dance with the number 13. Oh no, we'd been suspicious of this number long before Philip IV made his move. Travel back further, to the mead halls of ancient Scandinavia, where Norse mythology painted 13 as the ultimate party crasher. Picture the funeral of Balder, the beloved god of light and purity. 12 gods sat in solemn mourning, when suddenly Loki, the trickster, the shapeshifter, the god of chaos, arrived as the 13th guest. This wasn't just bad timing. Loki was the very deity who had orchestrated Balder's death through treachery and manipulation. From this tale emerged one of humanity's most persistent superstitions. If 13 people gather, one will die within the year. It's a belief so powerful that centuries later we still feel its pull. Have you ever counted heads at a dinner party and felt that familiar knot in your stomach when you reach 13? But our relationship with 13 isn't just about mythology and medieval politics. Sometimes the universe itself seems to validate our fears. April 13th, 1970. The time, 1313 Central Standard Time. NASA launches Apollo 13, humanity's bold attempt to land on the moon for the third time. The crew, Jim Lovell, Jack Swigert, and Fred Hayes, had no idea they were about to become the unwitting protagonists in one of space exploration's most harrowing tales. 2 days into their journey, on April 13th, there's that date again. An oxygen tank exploded. "Houston, we have a problem," became more than just a famous line. It became a testament to human ingenuity in the face of overwhelming odds. The mission that was supposed to showcase humanity's conquest of space instead became a desperate fight for survival. And here's a spine-tingling coincidence. April 13th isn't done with us yet. It's the date when the asteroid Apophis, named after the Egyptian serpent of chaos and destruction, will make its closest approach to Earth in the near future. The cosmos, it seems, has a sense of irony. The entertainment industry has certainly taken notice. From the slasher franchise Friday the 13th to supernatural thrillers like 13 Ghosts, The 13th Floor, and Warehouse 13, Hollywood has mined 13's ominous reputation for decades. These narratives consistently explore themes of the occult, the paranormal, and the supernatural, as if 13 itself is a gateway to otherworldly terrors. Walk into any modern skyscraper, press the elevator button, and count the floors. Notice something missing. That's right, floor 13 has vanished into architectural limbo. Hotels, office buildings, apartment complexes, they all perform the same numerical sleight of hand, jumping from 12 directly to 14 as if 13 never existed. Airlines follow suit. Row 13, deleted from existence. The aviation industry, already dealing with passenger anxieties about flying, isn't about to add numerical superstition to the mix. This isn't just Western paranoia either. The fear of 13 transcends cultural boundaries. In Europe, the superstition runs so deep that some people will remove a 13th coin from their wallet and discard it, as if the very touch of this cursed number could contaminate their fortune. Even our ancestors in medieval times felt 13's disruptive power. When 13 full moons appeared in a single year, it threw the ecclesiastical calendar into chaos. Church festivals shifted, religious observances fell out of sync, and what should have been a celestial blessing became viewed as an ominous anomaly, a harbinger of divine displeasure. But here's where our story takes a darker theological turn. Open the Bible, and 13 reveals itself as a number of profound significance, but not in ways that bring comfort. Scripture records 13 distinct famines, periods of extreme scarcity and suffering that tested human faith to its limits. These weren't just agricultural failures. They were divine trials, moments when only divine intervention could save humanity from starvation and despair. The stories span from Genesis through Acts, each famine a reminder of human vulnerability in the face of celestial will. And in the shadows of prophecy, 13 emerges again. The Antichrist, that ultimate false savior, is prophetically linked to widespread destruction, standing as the dark mirror to divine salvation. The number 13, woven through these apocalyptic visions, becomes not just unlucky but actively malevolent. Ancient scholars who practiced gematria, that mystical art of finding numerical significance in words, discovered something chilling about 13's mathematical properties. This alphanumeric system, rooted in Assyro-Babylonian Greek traditions and embraced by Rosicrucian and Kabbalah texts, revealed that Satan's name carries the numerical weight of 13's multiples. In Hebrew, Satan equals 364. That's 13 times 28. In Greek, the calculation yields 2,197, 13 cubed. These aren't coincidences to ancient numerologists, they're cosmic signatures, mathematical proof of 13's connection to malevolent forces. Yet not everyone trembles before 13's supposed power. The brilliant essayist Addison, writing in The Spectator over 3 centuries ago, captured the absurdity of our omen-obsessed minds with wit that still rings true today. He painted a picture that feels remarkably contemporary. People so consumed by superstition that a shooting star disturbs their sleep, a wishbone's crack ruins a lover's appetite, and a screech owl causes more alarm than a band of actual robbers. Even a cricket's chirp, Addison noted, can induce more fear than a lion's roar. This isn't ignorance limited to the uneducated. Even generals, trained in strategy and logic, might become unsettled by an unusual candle flame pattern. Scholars who intellectually understand the absurdity of such beliefs still feel anxiety's familiar grip when confronted with ominous signs. The French poet Béranger captured this beautifully in his song 13 at Table. He tells of a dinner where, upon tipping over the salt with 13 people present, he envisions disaster, only to have death appear not as a terrifying specter, but as a kindly guide, pointing out the futility of fearing the inevitable. What if we embraced this perspective? What if, instead of seeing death as an enemy, we recognized it as part of life's natural rhythm? How much grief and anxiety would evaporate from our daily existence? Not all omens spell doom, and 13 isn't universally cursed. In fact, for some traditions, 13 represents power and mystical significance in positive ways. Wiccan covens traditionally consist of 13 members, not from superstition, but from belief in 13's mystical potency. Here, 13 isn't unlucky, It's the perfect number for channeling collective spiritual energy. And while we're cataloging good omens, consider these delightful superstitions. Meeting a piebald horse brings fortune, doubled if you encounter two. The ritual, spit 3 times and make a reasonable wish. It supposedly manifests within 3 days. Wearing your stocking inside out by accident foretells good luck, though doing so intentionally negates the benefit. Sneezing twice in succession is lucky, though a 3rd sneeze diminishes the effect. Now, here's where 13's story takes a patriotic turn. Pull out a dollar bill, any dollar bill, and prepare to be amazed by the intricate symbolism woven into America's founding narrative. That pyramid you see isn't just decorative. Count its steps, 13. Above it, the Latin phrase annuit coeptis, meaning God has favored our undertaking, contains exactly 13 letters. Below, Novus Ordo Seclorum announces, a new order has begun. But the real treasure trove of 13 symbolism sits in the right-hand circle, where the bald eagle spreads its wings. This isn't just America's national bird, it's a carefully crafted symbol of revolutionary ideals. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon, arrows in the other, 13 arrows to be precise. The olive branch bears 13 leaves and 13 fruits. Above the eagle's head, 13 stars shine in constellation. The shield on the eagle's breast displays 13 bars. Even the motto in its beak, E pluribus unum, one nation from many people, contains 13 letters. This repetition isn't coincidental, it's revolutionary. 13 represented the original colonies that dared to declare independence from the world's mightiest empire. 13 signers put their names to the Declaration of Independence, knowing they were signing what could have been their death warrants. 13 stripes still wave on every American flag. The bald eagle itself tells America's story. Unlike other national birds crowned with symbols of monarchy, America's eagle stands uncrowned, a deliberate rejection of royal authority. Its shield stands unsupported, symbolizing the young nation's independence. The white bar atop the shield represents Congress, the unifying force that bound separate colonies into a single nation. Even the eagle's attention carries meaning. In times of peace, its gaze turns toward the olive branch. During war, it looks to the arrows, always prepared to defend the peace it prefers. But 13's appearance on American currency has sparked more than patriotic pride. It's fueled centuries of speculation about secret societies and hidden influences in America's founding. The symbols we've discussed, the all-seeing eye, the pyramid, the intricate use of 13, these weren't arbitrary choices by some government committee. They trace their lineage through history's most secretive organizations, the Illuminati, the Knights Templar, the mystery schools of ancient Greece and Egypt, ultimately reaching back to the Babylon Mystery School. The dot within a circle, representing the sun radiating knowledge, appeared on all Illuminati communications. The all-seeing eye of Horus, dating to ancient Egyptian pharaohs, symbolized not just divine oversight but the human third eye, that center of higher consciousness located in the pineal gland. Remarkably, this mystical eye bears an uncanny resemblance to the human thalamus, that walnut-shaped brain structure controlling consciousness, sleep, and alertness. Some researchers claim to spot a tiny Minerval owl, another Illuminati symbol, hidden within the dollar bill's scrollwork. While this remains disputed, the Minerval owl undeniably holds significance within the Bohemian Club of San Francisco and their annual gatherings at Bohemian Grove. Picture this exclusive event. America's elite, including George H.W. Bush, Henry Kissinger, George Shultz, and many others, gathering beneath a 30-foot owl statue for ceremonies shrouded in secrecy. The combination of powerful attendees, mysterious rituals, and Illuminati symbolism has fueled theories that these modern gatherings represent the historic Illuminati's continuation. The noted occultist Manly P. Hall speculated about connections between America's founding Freemasons and the outlawed Illuminati. He suggested that a secret, noble organization operating in Europe assisted in establishing the United States for purposes known only to an initiated few. Even America's national bird carries mysterious origins. Originally, the phoenix, that mythical bird of death and resurrection, was considered for the role. Its links to European revolutionary movements, including the Illuminati, prompted the switch to the eagle, though Benjamin Franklin humorously argued that the indigenous turkey would have been more fitting than the scavenging eagle. Today, 13 continues its complex dance through human consciousness. We live in an era where skyscrapers leap over floor 13, airlines skip row 13, and dinner hosts count guests with nervous precision. The 13th Amendment to the Constitution stands as a landmark achievement in minority rights, forever linking 13 with justice and human dignity. Yet popular culture continues mining 13's dark reputation, from supernatural thrillers to horror franchises that guarantee box office success simply by invoking this number's ominous power. Perhaps most remarkably, public awareness of 13's rich symbolic heritage has diminished. The intricate meanings woven into American currency, those carefully chosen symbols representing sacrifice, independence, and revolutionary ideals, remain largely unknown to younger generations and even their history teachers. This represents more than historical ignorance. It's a disconnection from the profound sacrifices made by those who fought to establish and defend these principles. Too many veterans returned home to indifferent attitudes. Others never returned at all. These symbols serve as silent testimony to their sacrifice, continuing to speak to those who understand their language. Why does 13 maintain such psychological power? The answer lies in humanity's eternal quest to find meaning in chaos, to impose order on randomness. As Addison observed centuries ago, we seem to possess an almost supernatural ability to create distress for ourselves. We step away from contentment, adding unnecessary adversity to lives that aren't inherently harsh. An overactive imagination filled with omens transforms the most inconsequential items into formidable symbols. The dichotomy between positive and negative omens reflects our broader human tendency to seek patterns and meaning. Whether driven by faith, fear, or hope, we constantly scan our environment for signs, for guidance, for some indication of what's to come. 13 has become humanity's perfect projection screen. Depending on context and culture, it represents everything from divine mystery to demonic influence, from revolutionary courage to apocalyptic destruction. It's simultaneously the number of Christ's disciples, including Judas, the betrayer, and the steps on America's pyramid of aspiration. So, where does this leave us, dear listeners? Standing at the intersection of history, psychology, and mystery, we find that 13 is neither purely lucky nor unlucky. It's profoundly human. 13 isn't just a number. It's a mirror reflecting our deepest fears, our highest aspirations, and our unending quest to understand our place in the vast mystery of existence. But wait, there's a lot more to be unpacked. Did you know that beloved singer Tupac Shakur was also conspired to be killed on Friday the 13th? Well, you can know more about it exclusively on Scoob app, an AI-powered podcast app with 2,000-plus podcasts from every corner around the world. Download the app now from App Store or Play Store and get started.